A heart on your wrist? Yes, please. Come follow along as I'll show you how to make a macrame heart wristlet. Here and welcome to BOCHIKNOT Macrame, the channel where you will find all things macrame related. And in today's tutorial, we will be going over a very special pattern, and that is a macrame heart wristlet. So what's truly unique about this wristlet is that we made the base pattern so the majority of the wristlet is one color and the heart is its own color, which means you can play around with colors and your creativity on making this heart wristlet. I will be walking you through all of the knotting techniques in this video tutorial in a step-by-step format, so don't worry if you are a beginner, you should still be able to follow along with this. If you guys are ready, grab 2 colors of cord, grab a lobster clasp, and let's get started. For this pattern, I'll be using 2 different colors, one for the heart and one for the base part of the wristlet. For the base part of the wristlet, I'll be using this 3mm single strand cord in natural and rose gold metallic. It's basically natural colored cotton cord, it's single strand, but then it's twisted with a few strands of rose gold tinsel. This is a little bit harder to use for beginners if you're not used to it, because the metallic can separate from the cotton fibers pretty easily. I would recommend, if you do use this, to tie overhand knots on the ends of each strand of cord to prevent it from unwinding too easily. That really does help a lot. As for the color of the heart in this tutorial, I'll be using this 3mm single strand in the color lilac. And then, of course, you'll need a swivel keyring, and I'm going to be using this rose gold one. If you guys are interested in any of the materials and supplies used in this pattern, I'll link them in the description below. I have taped down the top part of the lobster clasp to prevent it from moving around too much while demonstrating this pattern. You can do the same, or you can place it on an S-hook and make this pattern from a rack. I do find it easier to make it on a stable surface with it taped or pinned down, but the preference is totally yours. So you'll need 2 strands of the base cord at 240 centimeters long each. And we're going to match up the ends on one end, and then we're going to measure that end to 50 centimeters. So once you have 50 centimeters, this is where we fold it over. And then you'll also need a strand of the heart color cord at 100 centimeters long, and we're going to fold it in half, which means you already have 2 ends that are 50 centimeters long. And then what we're going to do is we're going to continue holding that spot where the 50 centimeters is for the base cords. And we're going to thread it through the bottom of the lobster clasp. Now, it may be easier to measure it after, but you actually don't need to re-measure it, because once you thread through the heart cord and you match the ends of the heart cord, you'll get to the 50 centimeter ends. So we're going to take the 100 centimeter heart cord and we're going to thread it through in between the 2 base cords, match up the ends, and then straighten out. And that means we have the two 50 centimeter ends in the middle here. Then we're going to take those two shorter ends from the natural rose gold cords that we have measured to 50 centimeters. We're just going to match those shorter ends to the lilac colored cords, pull on them so that they're even. So once they're even, we know that they measure to approximately 50 centimeters. And then we're good here. And so the top ends should be the longer ends. That's what we're going to be using as the working cord ends for several square knots. So what we're going to do is with those working cord ends, we're going to start off with a square knot with the remaining 4 cords as anchor cords in the middle. So I brought the left cord over, then right cord through to the back, through the side loop, and then we're going to tighten. And then that's the first half knot. Do the opposite side to finish the first square knot. So once the first square knot is complete, just pull on the cords, the anchor cords especially. Make sure everything is nice and tight and no scrunched up cords. And then we're going to continue making another square knot downwards. Then continue for another consecutive square knot underneath. So we're going to continue this square knot pattern until we've made a total of 34 square knots. Once all 34 consecutive square knots are made, this is what the pattern should look like. And now I'm just going to shift this pattern up a little bit so that you can see as we add the heart at the bottom of the pattern here. So we already have 2 purple lilac colored cords in the center. We're ignoring the base cords for now. We'll go back to them later. But you'll also need 4 strands of 40 centimeter long lilac cords for the heart. So to begin, you will need 2 strands, and we're going to attach them diagonally. So I'm taking one off to the side here. You can leave any amount of space for now. We can adjust it after. Take the middle right cord, make a diagonal double half hitch knot onto this right anchor cord. So take it like so. Hold that first half hitch knot so that's nice and snug. Then take it through for the second one to complete the double half hitch knot. Then we are complete with the double half hitch knot. And then we can pull on the anchor cord so that the ends are even on both sides. So match the ends up. And that is what it should look like. And now we're going to take another 40 centimeter long cord on the left side this time. Repeat the same thing, but this time on the left. So now we're taking the middle left cord for a double half hitch knot. So again, make a first tight half hitch knot and then bring the working cord through for the second one. And then tighten. Then once you you've tightened the knot, pull on the anchor cord so that both ends are relatively even. Now we do want the middle cords to be relatively even, but slightly longer than the far right and far left ends. Then once we're done adjusting the cord lengths with the middle two cords now, which are the two anchor cords we had added, make a diagonal double half hitch knot to the left. Okay, so we've started the center of the heart. We're going to add two more cords, one on each side. Take another 40 centimeter long cord, attach it to the far right cord with a reverse lark's head plus half hitch knot. So start with the reverse lark's head, then make a half hitch knot on both sides. Then slide it to meet the center, and then take the last 40 centimeter long cord, do the same thing on the far left cord. So once the reverse lark's head plus half hitch is attached on both sides, we're going to work on the center of the heart, skipping the second cord from the right and left. Take the next cord down as an anchor cord for two double half hitch knots towards the center. So I'm starting on the left side. We're going to make two double half hitch knots. And then on the right side as well, two double half hitch knots towards the middle. Then one diagonal double half hitch knot to the left with the middle two cords. And then now we can close off this heart. So to do this, we're going to start with the far right two cords. We're going to fold it over towards the center so that it curves like this. Take that next cord, the second cord from the right, make a double half hitch knot to the left, like so. And then now include this working cord with the anchor cord for the next double half hitch knot. So next double half hitch knot, we're going to have two anchor cords. Okay, once we're done, we're just gonna pull on both anchor cords to tighten so it gets rid of any spacing that we had on the right side. And then before we continue with more double half hitch knots, with that newly added anchor cord, we're going to snip it off. So make sure you pull on the cords to know which cord you're cutting. It should be the one that we had newly added. Cut it off. And then include the last working cord for the next double half hitch knot. Once done, pull on both anchor cords again, and then snip off again the last anchor cord that was added. And then finish off with one more double half hitch knot the same way on the right side. Once done, that last anchor cord we just added, we're gonna snip that off. And then now we're going to repeat the exact same thing on the left side. So starting with the far left 2 cords. Same anchor cord, but to the right this time. Second cord from the left as the working cord. Make a double half hitch knot towards the center. Pull on the anchor cord to tighten up any loose knots. Then include the working cord with the anchor cord for the next double half hitch knot. Make sure that the knot is nice and tight up against the previous row of knots. Then pull on both anchor cords to tighten up the knots. And then snip off the last anchor cord that was added. Include the working cord we just used for the next double half hitch knot. Snip off the last anchor cord that was just used. Make sure you tighten it first. And then make one more double half hitch knot to the right. Once done, this is what the pattern should look like. Snip off that last anchor cord that was added. Then we should be left with 2 cords in the middle and then 2 cords on the side. To finish off this heart-shaped pattern with the middle 2 cords, make one more diagonal double half hitch knot to the left with the middle 2 cords. And the heart pattern is now complete right here. Now we're going to cover up the ends of the heart cords with the square knots. So what we're going to do first is folding up the top 2 cords, the middle 2 cords. Take the same outer left and right cords on both sides, and we're going to include the middle 4 cords we have here as anchor cords for a square knot. So make sure everything's nice and tight. And then finish off this square knot. So this is what it should look like at the back. Pull on the anchor cords to make sure nothing is scrunched up. So once those side cords from the heart are attached, so they're hidden behind that first square knot we've made, we're just going to snip the excess off. Like that. And then now we're left with just 2 cords left from the heart pattern. And then now we're including these middle 4 cords as the anchor cord for 4 more consecutive square knots. So take the far left, far right cords as the working cords for an initial square knot. And then we're going to make 3 more underneath. Once the 4 consecutive square knots are made underneath the heart, 1 behind, so we've made a total of 5 square knots underneath the heart, we're ready to seal the bottom to form the wristlet. So you should be able to match up the ends here so that there's about 1 centimeter or 1/2 inch of space in between the last square knot at the front and with the bottom of the lobster clasp. Then what we're going to do is, using a 30 centimeter long cord, we're going to make a gathering knot. So taking the working cord, place one end on top, fold it underneath for a small loop, take the longer end and start gathering the cords together at the bottom of the lobster clasp, and then we're going to wrap it around a few times. Make sure it's nice and snug. Once you've made it all the way back around at the end, place the end through the loop that we made in the beginning, and then pull on the top end to tighten the gathering knot. Make sure that the bottom is underneath. And then you can pull on any of the cords, the anchor cords, to tighten everything up. Then you can snip off all of the excess cords. Then once done, we are now complete with this heart wristlet. And that's a wrap with our Macramé Heart Wristlet keychain tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. The knotting techniques we had used to incorporate color within the project were strategic in hiding the initial cords within the anchor cords of the square knot pattern, and then you would have had to learn how to add cords into the project to make the heart pattern. If you guys enjoyed learning knotting techniques like this, we do go over certain techniques and topics in a lot more detail over on the BOCHIKNOT macrame community on Patreon. If you guys are interested in checking that out, head on over to patreon.com/BOCHIKNOT for more details. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite part of this heart wristlet pattern is. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, so that I know to make more patterns just like this. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.